Hello, Simon here with Too Many Projects. I'm going to be looking at the Benly today. Going to start stripping it down, see how many problems we can find with it, see how many parts I've already left around the shed and the garage and everywhere. I'll get some tools together and we'll start just hacking into it, see what we can find wrong. So, when I got it, I did take the time to strip it apart and have a quick go because I was hoping it was just going to run. So there are some parts missing. Let me just pour myself a beer. Brew by Numbers today have been looking after us. So these sexy side panels are already off. There's a missing airbox here. I didn't make any notes on how that came apart, so hopefully I'll be able to work out how that goes together later. The seat's off. And the tank is also not attached. I need to have a look back at the underneath. The tap I've had off somewhere, and I gave it a quick rattle can to try and protect it from rust when I first got it out, because it was just starting to get a bit of surface rust. Haven't really decided where to start. I think I'm going to get the mudguard off. I think I'm going to try and get the carburetor off. The wiring is a mess. I'm sure it's functional, but it's wrapped in 20 different kinds of electrical tape and covered in blue emulsion. This rust on the frame is worse than I thought. Bit of a worry. And the forks, I don't know what's going to happen to the forks. They've got these kind of covers coming all the way down. I mean, we can't see the stanchions, but the bit of rust at the bottom of the cover, it might be a bit of rust on the bottom of the cover, or it might be leading to more rust up the top. We'll have to see. Right, mudguard. Let's have a look at you. On the top there, ones with Allen heads and nylock nuts. Whoops, that's got it. Found Claira's small barco. I've actually lost my amazing tiny barco, which is about 3 inches long. Brilliant for everything. You must get me to put this back in her bag though, or she'll kill me. The second most useful spanner in the world. There we go, look. One light cluster. One perfectly reasonable, but not very pretty mudguard. And I've only lost one nut. My God, look at this thing. Whoever was working on this last just did not care what it looked like. Electrical tape and emulsion paint everywhere. Beer connector, beer connector. Oh yes. Are the wires colour coded? Ah, yes they are, thank goodness for that. Let's just pull these all out confidently because I know how they go back. Light cluster. So don't ask me why, but for some reason someone seems to have covered this bracket on the light cluster in electrical tape. You can actually see the original paint on the bracket there at the bottom and then the lovely blue emulsion on the top. I wonder if it's beautiful and nice underneath and can be restored. We'll see. We'll see. Let's have a look at the carburetor and then I might have to call it a day for tonight. It's giving off the impression that this carburetor is just held on with 2 bolts and a throttle cable. Well, and a choke cable, obviously. Let's see if that's true. I suppose I should remove the choke cable first. I'm not desperate to cut the choke cable, but it's not playing ball. The clamp that holds it in place is rusted solid. Maybe the correct tool is 2 pairs of pliers. Yes! The correct tool for a screw and a nut was 2 pairs of pliers. Alright, I'm going to wrap up the throttle thingy here and keep it clean and keep it safe while it's out here. But I've run out of time tonight, so I'll probably exercise a costume change from your perspective. See you in a sec. Oh look, I found the fuel tap. It's just here. Brilliant. Right, with the back end quite dismantled, I think we're going to try and get the engine out today. I've been using the Haynes manual, which is not to hand at the moment. I'll show you that later. But the first thing to do is to secure it on from the front and rear axles, really, so we can drop the engine out eventually. The easiest thing to do would be to put the wheels back in, but I've already taken them out, so it feels like going backwards. So I'm going to try something a little different. I've got this jack, which is just a platform jack. It's quite useful for working on motorbikes sometimes, lifting the middle up if they haven't got a centre stand. I'm just going to pop that under the forks and then try and put the centre stand down so we've got it propped on something quite steady. I think it'll actually be steadier with the jack under the forks rather than the wheel with a single point of contact. Let's find out. And then we're going to chuck the centre stand down and see how that goes. Well, that was pretty easy. Right, next thing to do is to drain the oil. Let me find some oil drain. Then, it looks like the last person who did this didn't have a 16mm spanner either. Alright, I think that's empty enough. Now, the exhausts. Just a few. Oh, someone's put a lovely square nut on there. That's fine though. See what we can do with this square one. Oh, square nuts, what's the point in them? Other side. That's what we want. And then they're just mounted here on the wrong side of the swing arm. There we go. Oh, ta-da! Number two is full of rusty metal inside. Well, they looked in much better condition before I got them off, as everything on this bike. Right, what does the manual say next? Plug caps, clutch cable which is down here under the battery, and absolutely stuck solid. It's got it. Starter motor terminal. Block connectors. Brake lever. Sorry, gear change lever on this side, isn't it? Let's remove the sprocket cover. Now, I was taught by a mechanic in Peckham. She ran a little place, Honda Riders it was called, probably still is, but when you haven't got an impact driver, selecting the right bit and giving it a bit of impact, and then going, will get your screws loose, as if you have an impact driver. Now these two Brew bolts bracket. There we go, and that's the foot pedals off. Right, with the chain off, there are 7 bolts allegedly, with 4 under there, 2 back here and 1 on the top. So once those come out, it should drop out, and I'm going to employ Glamorous Assistant for this part.
No, that's just turning on your side.
No, nothing's turning. Oh, look, there's shiny black stuff underneath here. Oh, you know what wouldn't hurt? This getting under here just in case something goes wrong.
Which happens more often than not.
Can you
Yeah,
just try and lift the front? No, what we don't want to do is put too many forwards, so someone can understand.
This one's got a washer here.
Oh, I can do that.
It's amazing how easily this pan comes off, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because it's got rust underneath.
Ooh.
That'll be the engine plate, as they call it. That's annoying, isn't it?
Oh, it's like one of those puzzles at Christmas. Go low?
Not a problem.
No.
Oh, what? You go, oh, magic!
Yeah.
What do you need?
14. Yeah.
Look at that quality. Look, it's like brand new. In the middle.
In the middle.
Which is good. Okay, I can get some that. Could you, right, I need you to kind of take the weight of the engine a bit.
Sure.
So just very slightly and drop it. Ow, my fingers! Woo! Engine.
Engine. Massive. In comparison to how tiny the rest of the bike is.
There it is, everybody. One engine not attached to the motorbike anymore. One CD200 Benly in pieces. Dismantle complete. And we might do the front end in the next video as well. The forks are a bit of a nightmare. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.